Let there be peace and love among all beings of the universe. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar. Welcome. Shanti Prakash. Shanti Prakash, you say. He's not here. Shanti and Shanti Prakash. So this is from your husband or from you?
Well, you told me to sign my name Shanti Prakash, so you'd know which Shanti it was.
So Shanti Prakash means a combined name also, Shanti Prakash. I gave him this name and to you Shanti, so that there is no Prakash without Shanti and no Shanti without Prakash. One name. Because I found you are a very good couple. So in the name also I have given this union so that you don't forget each other.
Thank you.
I am so grateful to be here, sitting at your feet once again. When I returned to the States in January, I took you with me, and I am delighted to report that you and your precious gift of happiness and love and peace have not left me even for a moment, which makes returning to Lucknow all the sweeter. No words can express this endless gratitude and love that I feel. Thank you, beloved Papaji. This song of love came to me by your grace, by itself, from my heart, and I would love to sing it for you, if you please.
Papaji, I have a tape of the music to put on if you want.
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise, today is Saturday and we have some music in the end, but your letter came in the beginning itself, so I have to honor your song, and you need some help. You need some help from our music. Otherwise, Bansi can come and help you if you are singing.
Papa, Shanti Prakash already recorded the music.
Yes.
Shanti Prakash played the music on piano and taped it for us.
Okay, you do it.
So those words are for you to watch if you say one.
Farman. Farman. Beloved Papaji, when I ask the question, who am I look inside and see where the thought came from. This brings silence and peace. This is quite okay. Inside, when you look inside, where the thought arises from, and this brought you silence and peace. And you should have stopped here at peace. and you have filled 3 pages. Are you a journalist? To write pages without understanding anything of the situation. That is what the journalists do. Because their mind is never at peace, but you say, when you looked into your own source from where the thought arose. So when you come from Washington to Lucknow, and at the same time, are you in Lucknow or Washington? At the same time, you cannot be in Washington and Lucknow. Now you are in Lucknow. In Lucknow, you have to speak how is Lucknow and things around you and satsang around you. Like this, you say that when you found the source from where the thought arises, at that time, where are you?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Okay. And this source is called nowhere. And then there was tremendous peace, isn't it? And then after that, you say, still there is not satisfaction. Now, not satisfaction was when you came here, you were not satisfied, otherwise you shouldn't have come to Lucknow. There was some dissatisfaction, therefore you are here, and all those people who are here, they have some kind of dissatisfaction. That's why you are here. And then when you are here, you are in peace. And now this dissatisfaction comes from where? You have ended here, I am in complete stillness, quietness and peace and love. Now you have to speak from the source itself. Do you see any dissatisfaction?
Now.
Huh?
Now.
What do you mean?
No.
You were in the source,
No,
from where the thought arises, and this dissatisfaction is a thought itself.
Yes.
Where did this thought came from? Do you see anything around when you are in the source of a thought, beyond the thought?
Didn't see anything.
Huh?
I didn't see anything.
So who wrote this? Who wrote this letter?
I felt something. I felt something.
So either I accept your statement, but at the intellectual level.
Good.
Intellectual level, you can speak things, but no experience. You must have wedded with a woman. You must have wedded with a woman, married with a woman,
Yes.
and was it intellectual marriage or your experience now that you are married? Did you have any experience with the woman you married, or simply intellectually you were married? Why you are thinking about it? And you can't have intellectual marriage and still have satisfaction. And when you are married, you are satisfied, and from there you can't say, I am not satisfied, you see, at that time. So many people, they, I think, don't understand. Simply they say, when I say keep quiet, find out the source from where the thought arises. Now, it is very easy to understand intellectually, but you have got to do it practically, you see. Then it will take just a moment to see that you have always been in peace and you were never disturbed. So this is not a practical, and if it was a practical, your face would have very different. Your eyes would have been very different, as somebody drinks, and then everybody can find out from his actions and from his speech, from his eyes, that he has landed something inside, therefore he is walking zigzag. Even your activity will show. If you have touched this toast, source, this taste of the source will represent your activities of life. And my dear friend, you are far away from the source. So you have now even this one moment, one instant of finger snap is quite enough to know who you are, to be complete in love and peace. And if you understand what I mean by this moment, this instant, you keep quiet, don't think, don't make any effort. Do it now practically and tell me, where do you stand? Again, you are not understanding. I repeat again. For one instant, if it is too much, half an instant. Still too much, half of the half an instant. Can you devote it to yourself for the first time? Can you? And during this time, don't think, don't make any effort, and let me know if there is no peace. Do it. Don't only hear it. Speak up. If I'm not clear, I repeat again.
There's peace. There's peace.
Repeat.
Yes.
Okay. For one instant, are you speaking English?
Yes.
Okay. For one instant of time, for this moment, don't think and don't make any effort. Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay. Now you are not making any effort and not thinking, because all what you think belongs to the past. Every thought belongs to the past. Therefore, don't go to graveyard now. Doesn't matter. Even white hair is not necessary that one has got to go to graveyard even with the white hair. And I will give you a trick that there is no graveyard for you. Just don't make effort and don't think. Do you follow now?
Yes.
No. If you have, then tell me, who are you?
There is no answer. There is no answer.
No answer.
No answer.
Okay. So this dissatisfaction is not there.
No.
And there is no answer.
No answer.
If there is no answer, there have been no question at all.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. If there is no answer, no question, now you have to speak something from here, from where all questions have dissolved and no answers arise. You have to speak about this moment.
That's an effort. That's an effort.
Doesn't?
An effort.
Now you have opened your mouth for the first time, isn't it? Eyes different, face different, teeth now showing and seriousness seriousness also is not there. Now you are smiling, you see. Why do you smile now?
No effort.
No. So when you made effort, you see, you are not smiling, you see. When you have no effort and no thought, this is called a zone where you will always smile, you see. So how about this letter now? And 2.5 lines I've read from these 3 pages of this. Okay. Thank you. Anand Rainer. You are from?
Germany.
Germany. How to love myself, or who I am. I am often dead serious and struggle incessantly with my life, which seems to be related to my inability to accept myself as good, God-given, as being myself as I am unchangeably. Please cheer me up and help me to remove this mind tendency. Can you install faith into me that I don't have to change myself into being something special? I feel there is still fear of rejection. Also, I don't know why I still have to smoke bidis and why it is so difficult for me to stop this old and stupid habit. The more I see you, the more I love you. Am I lost? Rainer, what would you suggest for getting out of this habit, and also for the beautiful name for such as me? So first I think you are distracted by smoking, therefore you do not know how to love yourself, you see. Because you are in love, already in love with Miss or Mrs., I do not know exactly. Mrs. or Miss Nicotine. and you love. And this girl is surely is going to punish you someday. As you might have seen, many people are troubled, and once they fall in this love of red light area, they never return back. Better don't touch. And if you have done it and the entire world is entrapped in this cage, in this trap, you see. And people all around the world are trying. And recently I read in the newspaper that 2 out of 3 Americans smoke, you see. Although the Surgeon General many times he spoke on the television and I heard him myself, you see. Now this is proved it causes lung cancer. Still, we don't mind it. And now there is a place in India where you can stop this smoking habit, you see. And this smoking habit can be stopped there, and you know that this place is called Punjab. If you go to the Punjab state, quite near from here, from Delhi, you cannot smoke. But this non-smoking is out of fear, because if you smoke, they fire on the bidi itself. And number 2, you become a sick, you can't smoke. Number 3, there's an island of England, Limby or something. You go there, and now people are going for 10 days retreat, and they have no nicotine at all. And they spend 10 days, and when they return, they find themselves very well for the first time. They say, we breathe deeply, you see, and we are fresh for 10 days. So this allurement, now they want to keep up, and many people have given statement that they have given up this habit, you see. But these are, I have counted, you have got to go somewhere else. I mentioned you Punjab, number 1. Number 2, become sick. Number 3, go to England. But the 4th one is here. Many people who have been smoking, who came here and they gave up smoking, you see. Those who have been smoking for the last 40, 45 years, even they have given up this habit, you see. And you can do it now also, the same prescription, like this man who was here before got it. Only question yourself, who am I? This is enough engagement. After all, it is the mind that wants to smoke, you see. Now, you keep your mind busy with this question, and not for a very long time, for a very short while, up to a second of the time from your whole span of life. Not today, not this hour, not this minute, this second. You try to find the answer for this question, who am I? And I am sure you will not like to taste nicotine. Here is the taste that you are going to have for the first time.
Taste of this.
Mm-hmm. What's your name? Rainer. So I give you the name also. I give you this name, which means before you were enjoying the fumes of bidis, and now I give you the name and you will enjoy from fumes to clouds. Same, looks like same. You will look, oh, this is marvelous to be in the same kind of thing, but this gives coolness to the mind, you see. Clouds. So that name I am going to give you, the god of the clouds. Who doesn't smoke? This name is Devendra. Devendra means god of gods. And I want to live as a free being, Papaji, please help me. I have been here for 7 weeks. Who's Ingrid? Ingrid. I have been here 7 weeks, and during these days many things have happened to me that are beyond words. It's like the sun shining in my heart, and it becomes lighter and lighter until in the end there is only bright light and stillness. I leave soon, but I want to be completely free. I love you, Ingrid. So what you say here, during your stay here for 7 weeks, something has happened to you which is beyond words. Anything that you see, smell, hear or taste, you can describe with words. And you say, during this period, something happened to you, description of which cannot be described in words. And also in the end you say, I want to be free. This is freedom itself. Anything that you see around you, or even imagination, you can describe in words. How beautiful, isn't it? But when you cannot describe, this is called freedom. When you feel inside your heart and you can't describe, this is called freedom from the words, freedom from mind, freedom from intellect. Everything can be described. Smallest sand grain also can be described. But when you see something that is beyond words, is that which you really are, and now you don't believe. So anything that you see is an object that begins and ends. Anything that you describe has beginning, middle and end. It's not worth. So when you come across something which you cannot see, can't touch or taste and can't describe, is your own self. How can you describe your own self? The eyes see all objects. Eyes see all objects the eye cannot see itself. Why? Because it is so close, eye is so close to the eye, so it cannot be described. Anything away at a distance can be described, but it has beginning and end. So the eye cannot see itself because it's too close to itself. Therefore, it cannot see. What is too close to your own self is beyond any description. So, now you have to go back to your country with consciousness, faith, trust that I am free. As a slogan even. Okay. After 3 weeks of your wondrous satsang, the gate to the graveyard is firmly closed. The extremes that I experienced earlier have subsided, and the last few days have been quiet, allowing inner peace, love and happiness, and to just be. Papaji, I thank you, gracious presence, for this gift of heartfulness. It will be with me when I leave tomorrow. Thank you. Rob from Maui. You are leaving?
Yes, Father.
I have to give you some letters, so after such, you are leaving tomorrow? Okay, you get my letter from Bharat Mitra and take it to Maui. Thank you. Beloved Papaji, more than ever I feel my place is here with you. The wish to build up my work in Germany seems to interfere with my desire to stay close to you. I am leaving soon. Please take care of me also while I am in the West. Thank you for your numerous invitations. Thank you. Deep gratitude, Judy. So I explained to you yesterday, no work will be interference in this peace. Whenever you go, the work is no hindrance for you. You can continue your work because you are a very good teacher. So I don't want you to stay any long here. Go back to your country and execute your work. And there will be no problem. Don't have fear. First go there and see how do you feel. If the work gives you any hindrance, you write to me. because you have learnt here during your stay here, everything is going on and you are not involved in that. First, it was the ego, individual identity with your own body, and you were thinking all this work is going on by me. So having come here, you have known there is something beyond your capacity even to understand, beyond ego itself, you see, from which even the ego rises. And when you are in peace, you are staying there, you see. So you see the work is going on even by your body activity, and it is not you who is active with the work. Why? When you do any work, the hands are moving, legs are moving to walk, eyes are there to see, but where does this energy come from? Hand is there to work, even to close the fist. I can do it myself. Where do I get this energy to close up my fingers? That nobody knows. To turn your face in the reverse gear and move beyond and look from where the energy is coming from, which is the reservoir of your thinking even. So if you identify yourself with that, then everything is going on by the grace of that supreme power, which you thought it was you. But then I turn your face towards the supreme, not towards an object. Object is past. Object is not permanent. Now turn your head to see something which is beyond, from where energy is coming. Then you will know nothing can interfere you. It will go on as it is. Tim Womack. From Singapore, Singapore. He's from New Mexico, but he may be coming. This letter is from Singapore, from New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Thank you for everything. I write this to ask for your guidance and prayer as I surrender to become an instrument of God. Help me find the path of service to God. Help me find the highest path that will serve God and mankind. Help me let all my thoughts, feelings, behavior that binds me and keep me from the light of God and from walking this path. Not here. विष्णु भृंगी and Sundar Das. Sundar Das, आप आ सकती हैं ना? You can let him sit in. Please sit down. You are from Colorado?
Haji, Colorado.
Colorado. Papaji, our first question is related to karmic law and its expression as human suffering either in physical, emotional, mental planes. Sometimes extreme suffering appears to be randomly inflicted on innocent bystanders. Terrorist bombs, airplanes, or AIDS, virus transmitted by contaminated blood transfusion. Is such suffering purely randomly inflicted, or can it be always be interpretable as prarabdha karma of the individual or of combined individual and collective karmas? How would an enlightened being view such expressions of karmic law? So this question deals with a total consciousness, you see. And if I speak that it is all prarabdha karma, that is what we believe, you see. But this belief doesn't hold good to everybody. It is not reasonable to speak, you see. Therefore, those I can explain both ways, you see. How these actions, anything that you do becomes prarabdha, you see, itself. So, even this prarabdha, what we call now, is that you have done something in the past, and half of it has been done or attended to, some portion is left. So we do not know the root of that, and that is now here. We call it prarabdha, but you can call it the balance of your previous activity. That is now, as you can see, you have $100 in your pocket, you go to supermarket and you have spent about $80 of it, and the remaining $20 is in your pocket. So the next morning when you wake up, you find $20 in your pocket, you see. The balance of $100, you see. So this is prarabdha, that you do not know $80 have been spent. So this balance, this opening balance today in the pocket is $20, $80 have been spent. So that is over now. You have to begin afresh with this $20, whether you are spending all of them or you are earning another $50, again it becomes $70, you see. So prarabdha karma, actually there is no prarabdha. Actually you have already done something previously and nobody knows. And if you believe in these stories of these Upanishads, one story is there that in one village there was one saint. One saint was there. He used to live quietly in the forest. So one day one cow running and entered his hut. So after that one man came. He said, "Have you seen my cow? My cow came here because I was just going to slaughter it. I am a butcher." He said, yes, cow has gone inside my hut, and he pushed the cow, gave it to this butcher, which was butchered. Now this is a happening. It happened. Now this man, again, this saint, now becomes again a saint because he was a saint. Next life he again becomes a saint because he didn't do anything else. So now he's going, there's a very famous temple in Maharashtra, you might have heard, Pandharpur, where is a very good statue of Lord Vittal is there. So he was going there. So about 10 miles is left to go, then it started raining heavy and storm. And he could not walk, he couldn't see. So one man invited him, you can spend a night here and then next morning you can proceed to Pandharpur because it's 10 miles and you can't see the way. So he agreed. And now this man who invited him was very compassionate, generous, and old, about 70s. He had a wife, very beautiful wife, and now she falls in love with this boy and asks him, "I want to live with you as your wife." He said, "No, I am a saint. I cannot, I have never touched a woman." He said, "Now I have fallen in love with you. I have to go now. My husband is sleeping. Let us run away." And he says, "We have no money also. I have collected all my gold, ornaments. It will be enough for us. Now let us run away." He says, "No, I cannot stay with you. I am going to Lord Vittal, you see." And now seeing that this man is not agreeing under any circumstances, and "No, I forgot something." Then he said, "You are already married, and if you go away, your husband will be in pain." Then she went in and killed her husband and thrown into the well. "Now I have no husband," she says. Even then he doesn't agree. Now goes outside on the road and started crying, "This man has murdered my husband." And people all around came, and police also came. When the police came, took him before the magistrate, and there was no witness. The court needs a witness, you see. And he said, "Who killed it? This man. And this man doesn't belong to this village. And how did he enter?" He says, He went to steal. He has stolen my ornaments, and see, these ornaments are with him. And he has killed my husband, thrown into the well of the house. You can go and see. So now the judge is baffled. Judge is baffled now what to do, no witness, but murder is there. He is not the resident of this village, and so we cannot hang him. The Qazi of the village said, Qazi means magistrate during those days, we can't hang him, but since the crime has been committed, so we cut off both the hands of this man. So they cut off both hands. He is happy, he has not done anything. So he continues his journey and arrived. And Lord Vittal appeared before him. Ye ask any boon. Kuch mang lo mere se. He says, I am very happy with you. I am your devotee. I have always loved you, worshipped you. I have not done any other thing, and my tongue has never uttered any other name. My hands have not committed any crime. But if you are gracious, you can please tell me, these hands have been clapping at your name, why they have been cut. So I don't insist. If you are happy, you tell me. So he says, you look now as a div darshan before him. You see now yourself what has happened in the previous life. Now he sees himself a saint. Cow comes and all the story which I have told. Now he said, this time the cow that has been killed is again the wife. You see, the cow has been killed, the wife, and the butcher is the husband. And cow had to take revenge from the husband, from this butcher who is now her husband. He was killed by her. That is over. That action and reaction has taken place, is over. But now, why hands have been cut? Because you have pushed this cow who came to have your protection, which was butchered, you see. That's why your hands are cut now. So, I'm speaking of action and reaction. Now, next life it has become prarabdha, but nobody knows the root of anything. We do not know what has happened, you see. So like this, we do not know. We only see what is happening. So your question is about the prarabdha. Now I have explained. In modern physics, it is now clear that the observer are experimenter, and the method used for measurement will affect the outcome of the experiment. How does the manifestation of the suffering change according to whether an enlightened or unenlightened person views it? To proceed further, what is the relationship of the manifestation of Prakriti, quality, quantity, to the individual collective consciousness which is viewing the manifestation? So the viewpoint is quite different in case of a enlightened man and unenlightened man. The cases are very different because the man who is enlightened, he looks from behind, not the observer and the observed, not as that everybody becomes the observer of everything that he observes. But now the enlightened man even knows the observer. He goes beyond this observation and one that is observed, beyond that. So he has got nothing to do with this observer. Observer means ego. I do this, I have seen this, I experimented this thing, and only he is speaking of individual observer. As I can see the glasses here, I am the observer, this becomes observed, in between observation. So everybody is doing up to this much, you see. Right. But no one knows who is the observer. I am the observer, everybody say, I observe, an object of observation, right. But nobody knows who is the one who is even looking at the observer from behind. The enlightened one does it, not the other one. Even the observer is seen. I am seeing, I start working myself as an individual person, but I don't go behind what is this individual person himself. So whatever is seen, observed, I observe my body also, and not the one which is beyond. The beyond will observe my body, my feelings, my intellect, my mind, and my body and senses and the objects, everything he will feel from behind. So if you turn your face to that one who observes the observer, that is now my question to you. You see, you are. You see also what you are doing. To see who you are, and you are quite conscious that I am so and so. And what is this consciousness by which you can know I am conscious of everything? So that supreme consciousness is looking this individual consciousness and everything that is being done by the individual itself in the way of senses, you see. Or you can call it other way. There are objects. And then the objects we feel through the senses. Senses of sight we see, through ear, music, nose, fragrance, tongue, taste, hand, touch. Now, object, senses. And better than the senses is mind, because the mind orders, commands the senses. There is glasses, pick it up, like this thing. Mind. Beyond the mind, intellect, you see. Intellect which decides what you have to do and what you have not to do. If it is some flower, you have not to touch it, but smell it, you see. So, intellect. Beyond intellect is ego, from where the rises of the intellect, mind, senses, objects, you see. Now, beyond the ego now you have to go, who is aware of the ego, what I have to do and not to do. If it is a rock, I can't swim. There must be a lake to swim. So this decision is from the beyond the intellect, you see. The intellect decides and the ego is there to do something, but this consciousness which is conscious even of the ego, who is that? From where this consciousness will arise from. Now we are going 5 steps back, you see. Object, senses, mind, ego, and consciousness, individual consciousness, and supreme consciousness beyond that. And if you see beyond that, all this there already is being done, you see. And you are not affected, you are not doing anything, you are not the doer and not done. So that is called enlightenment, freedom. And even from the karma, what I described, there is no karma at all. This karma is in the framework of the mind, because this mind has recollected something and ordered the effect of some commitment through certain such vehicle or senses, and then beyond that, this activity has never even arisen from anywhere. So long a man has doubt, he is suffering, so we advise him to be free, we advise him to go and meditate in the Himalayan caves, go to attend satsang. So because he is in the mental plane, we advise him something. If you rise there, there never has existed anything, is the fundamental truth. There never ever has existed anything, never will exist. This is the ultimate truth. What we see is through our ego only, and this manifestation, what we see around, is what you needed to see, what you wanted to see, and this is related to your individual identification. And how you close up all these things in an instant when you go to sleep. Suppose you go to bed 11 p.m. you see. 11 p.m. you go to sleep, and the waking state started from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. So 10 hours, 59 minutes, 59 seconds have been waking state, and you could see, observe everything. What will happen now, the next 60th second of this waking state?
Just before you fall asleep. Just before you fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep just before sleep.
Just before you fall asleep.
Just before you fall asleep.
Where is the
now 59 seconds, and then all the rest from 5 a.m. is a waking state. You are quite aware.
Yes.
Now you are going to fall asleep. From 59th second, the last second is in your hand now.
Yes.
Now proceed slowly. Half second is gone now.
Okay.
Half of the 60th second is gone. Another quarter also is gone.
Okay.
Now full time is gone. Now what is this state? What is this state?
It's in between. It's in between the two states.
In between two states is half of the 59th second.
Okay.
That can be in between.
Okay.
Now that in between is now reducing to quarter of it. Now quarter is gone.
Okay.
And I'm asking you now, what do you see?
I cannot say what I see. I cannot express
You can't
it in
say.
words.
Yes, sir, you are sleeping now. You are sleeping now. No more waking state. What you can see or say is waking state. Or maybe even dream state. No difference. But now you are sleeping. You are sleeping now.
Okay.
Now, next morning, now, the first second of 5 a.m. now started. No.
I'm sleeping
First,
now. Okay.
You are sleeping. You have now to wake up, you see.
Now to wake up, yes.
Now to wake up.
Okay.
Now you are awake. The quarter of the second of the first day you are going to start now. And some friend comes, how did you sleep? Everybody says, how did you sleep? Mostly Germans, when you get up, you see. They always ask me, how do you sleep bad? First of all, I didn't understand why should they ask me. I'm not sick man. No. I said, there was nothing wrong in my body. As I slept, so I wake up. I'm quite fresh. I'm now going to run. Why do you ask me? He says, I asked you because this is a tradition. When we meet each other, we ask, how did you sleep? And later on I came to know they never sleep. So, like this friend, he asked you, how did you sleep? Absolutely well. I was very happy, so that I could not see anything. I could not have no dream. I was very happy. Now, there was no waking state. Finished.
Right.
Before last night, finished.
That's finished.
And you are now, you say, I was very happy. I had very sound sleep. Now, who was observing the soundness of the sleep when you slept? Who was it?
I have no awareness of... I don't have any awareness of who was watching what at that point.
You don't have.
I don't have
but then you say it.
But you say you remember something.
But then who is it who was remembering and seeing what you are doing in sleep? You are enjoying without any object, without any subject. Then there was somebody who was awake to see, enjoying your happiness, you see. Therefore, you tell to a friend, I slept very happy, you see. So, now you come to the waking state. Yes. Now, in the waking state, you do not know what has happened from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. What has happened, you can't describe.
All you know is you have slept, that's all. You only have knowledge of the fact that you have slept.
You slept, but you are saying you have slept in waking state.
Oh, okay.
You don't say, in the sleeping state, I am sleeping.
No.
If you say, you are not sleeping.
Right.
So this time from 11 to 5
just before the waking state.
Yes, is no time.
Right, no time.
No time.
Psychological time.
You didn't have watch. If you had also, you didn't see the watch. This is now, you don't see, you don't make up this thing. Even if you slept hungry, the food is there, you don't care when you slept. The food is lying on the table, but somehow you slept now. Even hunger is gone, you see. So this way, when you wake up, the bliss or happiness that you had from 11 to 5 means 6 hours. Now you are waking up. What did you do with this happiness? When you say, I am suffering, this belongs to the second of the waking state. I am suffering, I am sick, I have to go to hospital to work. But what about this time? What about the experience that you had for 6 hours, you see? 11 to 5, 6 hours. What did you do with this? And how you are going to utilize it wisely, yes, in the next waking state. Yes. As you say, I asked you, where did you come from? You say, Colorado. Is it?
Right.
So you came from Colorado.
Right.
Okay, now the man who is meeting you in the first instant, he is asking you, where do you come from? You must reply him.
Right. Yeah.
Where do you come from? This friend is asking.
Okay.
When you wake up, he is asking.
When I wake up. Okay.
When we wake up, where do you come from?
Then no problem, I can answer him.
You cannot say, yes.
Yeah. Just at that point, yeah.
Yes, so you cannot say about something which was always awake. You can't say anything, you see. Means your consciousness was aware when you were unconscious, you see.
Yes.
Yes. So about this consciousness, you can't say, you are just conscious that I was happy, I enjoyed. So why do you forget this when you wake up? Why don't you enjoy this state? So what I advise you, what is good has to be honored, no? What gives you happiness has to be honored, no? You enjoyed 5 hours, 6 hours. Now you have to say, I was happy, I have to be happy. And you now start your life from the last night's state. Now when you are awaking, even you think yourself, I am asleep, because this sleep gave you happiness. So still in that sleep, you will see that you are awake yet sleeping. Hard to believe, but this is a fact. Yeah. I am awake, but yes, still there.
The state is still
So
there.
you sleep when others are awake. All around people are awaking, and you sleep because they have never slept a night of happiness. And you have. Therefore, when they are sleeping, you keep awake. And when they are awake, you keep sleeping now. They are awake now.
Oh, okay. That continues the state.
Yeah, that's what
state all the time.
All the time. And you will never be affected, you see. What was affected? It was during the waking state.
That's right.
Or during this lifespan, and you are beyond that, you see. So this understanding doesn't need any practice also. This happens in satsang. Only you can catch it, absorb it, and become it, and be it, you see. It stays not by any practice, you see. With the practice, you can strengthen the mind. All practices need physical and mental exercises. So they all begin and end. What begins and ends is not true. It cannot be truth. What stays always is the truth. And by practice you gain something, some happiness for a while, but you lose it, you see. So any gain is no gain when it vanishes, you see. So this you don't lose because you didn't gain it by any practice. This is your own nature. And also now, you are now ready to declare, I am that. I am that which was awake when I slept. And now it is that when I am sleeping, everybody, the world is awake. I am neither this nor that, I am that. And this that cannot be explained. Would you kindly suggest or point to practical methods for surrendering the personal will to the divine will in the light of such extreme human suffering? Yes. So surrendering is only surrendering to the supreme power is that you surrender your ego to the self.
Surrender the ego, the personal.
Yes, not
ego.
surrender. What else is there to surrender? If you give money, many people think the rich men, they surrender to the saints by giving money. So money didn't belong to them, you see. That is not the surrender. Surrender of the ego.
The personal.
Ego, yes. Then you get rid of everything, you see. So there was one saint, and there was a very good king, very kind king of India, and he wanted now to have freedom. He is getting old now. He wants to hand over his kingdom to his son. He invited about 5,000 saints of this country to appear, and he wanted, I have not much time to go to Himalayas. I have been a king always, So I have not much time to go to practice. Also I am very old. I cannot do that penance at all. So this man kept a horse by the side on the near his bench where he was sitting. He said, any one of you who gives me enlightenment during the time when I ride this horse, how much time it needs to ride a horse? Instantly. 1 foot in this cradle and on the other side, immediately, some seconds, you see. And now he says, he's the king, we can't discuss with him, but then he's in their minds only, he must be a stupid man, you see. We have grown long grey beards up to this, and still we are far away from freedom, you see. And look at this man riding a horse. So all are whispering between each other, you see. And he declares, I will give 31,000 cows. You gives me enlightenment. In previous days, the wealth was counted by the cows you have, you see, not the metal kinds, you see. And then 33,000 cows with gold coins on their horns. Also, the half of my kingdom to that one who gives me enlightenment. Nobody dares, nobody comes forward. Who will come? And now there was one man, you can call him lunatic, crazy man, madman he was, you see. He just came, he didn't know what is going on. He was just moving about, he saw about many people are gathered here, and who are the people, who is the king, he doesn't know anything. He mounted the stage. Everybody started laughing, and he was nude also. Maybe they may be laughing because of his nudity. I do not know exactly what happened there, but he stood there, and people thought he doesn't know what's going on. And so this Prime Minister of the king told this man, you go away. We are discussing something of great importance. You are not wanted here. If you want food, we will give you food here. And he says, I want to know at least something. I am not totally crazy. A little thing may be out of... They explained him. And then he said, look, I give you enlightenment by the time you ride the horse. But then this thing has to happen between Guru and Shishya, between teacher and the student. And neither I am your Guru nor you are my student. How can I teach you enlightenment? You have first to become my student. Knowledge is given to student as a prasad from the Guru. So he said, we'll give you 33,000 cows in kingdom. Then he said, cows don't belong to you. Neither the kingdom belongs to you, because who was the king before you? My father. Before your father, grandfather. So it is descending from person to person. And next, my son. You will go away. This doesn't belong to you. This belongs to the public. And you come here only as a manager of the state, you see. Give me something that belongs to you. This doesn't belong to you. So he says, cows he doesn't accept, kingdom he doesn't accept. Now he says, you give me something that belongs to you. The king also was quite intelligent. He said, there is one thing which I have not given him. And he says, I give you my mind. My mind I give you. No, first body, he said. I give you my body, he said. You have given your body to your 4 queens. They say, he is our husband. So you, quarter of your body belongs to each queen. And your body also has been given to your queens. They say, he is our husband. And to the public, they call, he is our king. To the sons, he is our father. Even body I don't want. What's next? He said, I give you my mind. Okay, you give me your mind. Here is the Ganga water. You give the mind and say 3 times, I have given you mind. So he did it. This oath has been taken, I give you my mind. And then, now you put 1 foot in the, what do you call this thing? Stirrup. In stirrup. He put it.
Okay.
1 foot he's put it.
Okay.
And then he walked out of the congregation. He went away. Now everybody is laughing. Everyone is laughing. King is wondrous about this thing. He went away. What about his statement that he will give me freedom? He told me 1 foot in stirrup, I did it. But then I am not free. Later on, he thinks, king was intelligent, I am not free, also is in the mind. Do you get it?
Yes.
So, I am not fulfilling my promise. I can't think. So, and this madman has entrapped me. Give me your mind. Now I can't think of freedom. And then now he comes back, you see. Seeing him, his face, his eyes, his foot, and then he patted him. What do you want? What about the other foot? What about the horse? What do you want? He didn't speak. He walked away, you see. So this is what is needed. You have to surrender your mind, your ego to that supreme power, you see. And then it will take care of you. This king remained a king, you see. But now he was free. He surrendered to someone else who is executing the duties as a king to the public, you see. That's all. Now, number 4. How does one develop faith that the divine will and its expression within the individual will lead to Sat Chit Anand?
The faith.
Now this faith is no more needed, nor your individual will needed, nor divine will needed. Nobody's will is needed. You can do anything without the will. It will happen by itself. You don't need any will.
You have to have faith that it will happen by itself?
No faith. If you want to have faith, for faith, you must have another person to have faith in. And who is that person? In which? No person. Person needs 2 persons to have faith.
Yes.
One higher
And one lower.
to have faith and one low. Now this marble you are sitting here is used as a floor and you sit in. The same marble you make a statue of Christ or Rama or Krishna,
Right.
then you worship it, same stone, you started worshipping and you have faith, and then you ask for boons, you give me a son, the same stone, and you have given faith and you have chiseled this stone yourself, garlanded the stone yourself. Now the stone you are asking, give me your grace, give me this, give me wealth, give me my son. So all these wills are created by you, by the mind.
Even our concept of divine will is still our own concept of another will.
It's a divine concept, not my concept, you see.
It's a divine
There's no divine. Divine also you created.
Right.
You created. In the sleep, this divine was not there.
Right.
And before your birth, this divine was not there. And this divine has been imposed on you by the priests of the church. That he is your divine. Or by your parents. Or by your neighbors. They told you, this is the divinity of the house. And you have to have faith in it. Therefore, faith has been borrowed from someone else. It's not your own trust.
Your own.
There, no God exists, you see. God is your creation. Because you were to be born, you have to be someone else to speak about God. So God is about.
The object of.
Yeah, it must be an object, you see. You objectified the God. There must be some subject, you see. So God cannot be objectified. God cannot be seen. He is the seer. God is the seer, not the seen. Not an object to be touched. Beyond something can be touched. Now you go back to that stream, that supreme power, and that you are, that I am.
Okay.
So you have to be quite independent, not depending on God, because God will give you hell or heaven after the death. And why not to have this heaven here? People of the heaven will come here to have your satsang when you say, I am that. So, anything else?
For one instant, I felt no separation. For one instant, I felt no separation between that higher self and...
No, you are that, I say. What separation? This separation is now surrendering to that. Why separate? For surrender, one has to be separate.
Yeah.
But now this separation is now surrendered to that.
Right. That's what I'm saying, that
yes.
For some time I felt no separation. Everything was just one.
So when you surrender to that, you become that. There's no separation, there are no jivas ever born, you see. No individuals ever born. There's no duality. Where there's duality, where there are two, there must be some falsehood, not the truth. Because two cannot appear in that. Two cannot appear in that. That alone is. And that isness is me. Beloved Papaji, let me dance and sing beautiful songs for you. Okay, in the end, say will call. Oh, I will forget again. You call this girl from Zimbabwe, and after the satsang I hear she didn't speak. She was meditating and she came along with his boyfriend, night, and she was sitting. So this was dinner time, everybody was eating and she didn't eat even. So I gave some oranges and apple to his boyfriend, and I requested his boyfriend to take good care of her when she is sleeping with you. And now I want to know where is she? And she will also take part and she has to dance. She's from Zimbabwe, no? Zimbabwe? No. I always make mistake between this girl and one other girl is from. Other girl is from States, no? From States. Where's your friend from States? She must be hiding somewhere. You have to tell, Acha, now, how did you spend this night? You give me this. You said that you were. So it was.
I'll read you later, but I prefer it if you don't read it. Here.
Private and very confidential from my very confidential, so I will keep it in confidence, and there's nothing to keep confidence. Thank you very much. Last night I am sincerely sorry if my state of quietness and being caused any problem or concern at this stage. No words can describe any of this experience which I had from yesterday's satsang. I have been having always as a disciple. I can only ask the advice of my beloved master. Meditation is now normal life, and so far life itself is my teacher. Peace and love. You didn't explain. I told you would write down what is this experience.
I can't.
You are speaking of dinner and then. What
I
did
can't
you?
write it down, Papaji. I cannot write it down.
Did you go to school?
Yes.
You must know how to write. If you had gone to school, you must know. The teacher must have taught you how to write.
I can write, but I cannot write about this experience. Right now, I cannot speak about it. I don't know myself what the experience is. Beyond explanation.
And what will your boyfriend do now?
He's not my boyfriend. Well, he's my friend. He's my friend.
Friend?
Yes.
This is another term now, 3 terms now. Before I was not understanding. I was only understanding wife and husband. When I went to West and they told me the boyfriend is not husband, it is a boyfriend. So I said, what this boyfriend is doing with you? But now I understood, you see, the combinations of husband and many other friends and the boyfriend is one and the same thing. No difference between boyfriend and husband. That's now what I am seeing, you see. Yeah. Otherwise, why this boy has come to some girl and become boyfriend, you see. Therefore, I am advising every boyfriend and girlfriend to marry so that and some are listening, then some are doing it now. Now what about the friendship? This is a real relation of one soul to another soul that nobody knows. Only in India this relationship is felt or experienced. One soul, another soul, no physical attachment at all. And it is going to stay. And not like the West. This evening you marry and next morning divorce. Yeah. Dear Papaji, sometimes I am very happy and the other times I am suffering. I feel like a prisoner in the jail of emotions and thoughts and expectations. It keeps coming and going. There are lucky moments when I realize that it is all a joke and how simple and beautiful life just is only by being. But soon I am inviting emotions and desires again, and with this unhappiness comes. Also the misery of other people causes me problems, for it is a mirror for my own process and suffering, happiness, unhappiness, whatever this might be, is mainly affected by outside things. I could like to find an inner stillness which doesn't know the difference between happiness and unhappiness, how to find easily get distracted from silence. With faith, Bridget. Who is Bridget? You say sometimes you are happy and sometimes you suffer. Why did you not like this sometime which gives you happiness? Why you go to other sometime?
Because the happiness is going away very soon. I know it's dependent on things which happen.
Then you are having scorpion on your chest also. Scorpion, no? What is this thing? So, what the scorpion has got to do on your chest? Why you picked up this T-shirt? You want to see you stand up and show, I will tell you. You stand up and show. What is this? I didn't understand. Yeah, no. Is he your boyfriend? Yeah. No, why you laugh? Why you laugh? Every boyfriend is a scorpion. You had your boyfriend, you tell me now honestly, you had a boyfriend, was he not a scorpion? Did he stung you and went to another one? No, I am very shy to ask these questions, but all these girls are stung and then stung by boyfriends, and then they are not satisfied and still they keep the memory in their chest. Why should you keep? Why don't you live with something that gives you happiness? Who gives you happiness? Tell me. Did you experience happiness from any person? No. So, now what are you going to do? Now you stay, I will tell you a trick. to be your own boyfriend. Your boyfriend is hidden underneath the t-shirt. Look at him. He's waiting for you, and you ignore it. You go to scorpions on your own choice. Look within. This friend, your own beloved, is waiting for you, extended hands. And why don't you look at him? Look at him. Turn your face within. Just for one moment, and you will fall in love with him now. And that love you can't find anywhere on the face of this earth. You first have single moments meeting with her, meeting with him, or for her, for the boys. They can see their girlfriend within. They cannot find anywhere else. And for this one moment, they see and spend this time with her or him, and then let them come and tell me if they have any complaint about it. So this moment, this instant, you look within, not without. You can still do. You are a very young and beautiful girl. You can still do it. Otherwise, don't wait for when you go old. May not be time even to get old in these days. You see, everybody is running away because they don't like this world. Everybody is running away, 40s, 50s maximum, you see. So, how to find this boyfriend? Keep quiet, don't make any effort, no intention even to meet him. Then he will come himself. Do you follow? Don't make any effort. Do not think about him also. And tell me who's in front of you. Tell me. Don't think, don't make any effort. Now, who is coming in front of you and nearing you to hug you? Tell me, what do you see?
I can see nothing.
Huh? Yes, it is the one whom you can't see. And he is not seeing you. This is what I say. This is the boyfriend whom you can't touch, and he will not touch you. Simply, they will dissolve in love, ecstasy. Caddy, I need your help. I must not be getting this because I am hurting so much. I am hurting so much. Blaine told me this morning he would not marry me. He told me this morning that he would not marry me. I know that if he truly could remain in not thinking, and maybe my heart would not feel this pain, and I would not feel attached to my desire to marry him. I know that if I can love him enough to marry him, then I can love him enough to set him free but please, Papaji, help me not to feel the pain and suffering. You came here for marriage, so what happened then? We made all the arrangements for marriage, and Bhartamitra has made everything, but then I said, you wait. You have to wait. In this case, you have to wait. And next day, I heard that you have dismissed this marriage. I thought, again we will wait for this thing, and he came yesterday to me, and he told me that you have kicked him out of the house.
I didn't kick him out of the house. I knew I had to.
And then you are staying in some other house. That's what he told me.
I didn't kick him out of the house. I moved to a room next door so that I wouldn't put all my desires on him.
Then what are you going? What should he do? He should return back to States?
No.
Then you want to marry with him?
Yes.
Oh,
But Papaji, I know too that I came here for another reason as well.
Chalo, okay. Still, you have to wait for another couple of days. Okay, I'm very happy. If you could go close, you cannot find an innocent boy like him. It's good you make a good use of him as much as you can. Yeah, innocent boys, make use of him at the best of your abilities and capabilities. Make use of his innocence, you see. And then
Do you feel I'm using his innocence?
okay, you have to, now after this is going to be music, and then you have to dance. You know it, no?
Yes.
Dancing. Okay, you get a seat now. Yes, start it. Preeti. And I think we are getting. What is this? So let the people who are coming for music, they must come here. Last night. Kelly, again you are writer.
Did I write again?
Huh?
Papaji, may I came to you?
Who?
Uma.
Yes, Uma is going to Denmark, no?
Yeah, may I came?
Chalo, call these people, call everybody.
I want to touch your feet the last time.
Acha, okay, you are going. Very good.
And I want to say thank you for all you have given me. The freedom, the happiness, and now I go back with you in my heart.
You're very good.
And I come back.
Thank you.
And I said, I love you.
You stayed for a year, no year? 1 year you were?
He was here 10 months.
10 months.
But he can speak good English now.
No, you have to go. Chalo, who else is coming with you?
Thank you.
Who's with our drum? You bring the drum here. This boy is drumming. And who's with? Who's playing this guitar? And that Russian girl, no? This girl. Who's your partner? Who's your partner in dancing? There is somebody. Yes. Suppress. And this girl must come, a small girl, no? This girl, bring her here, this small girl. This Mexico girl. Vidya. Gudia. Buddhya and Bindya, yes? Buddhya and Bindya.
She's shy, Papaji.
Huh? No, she's not shy. Chalo, you go and bring. You go and bring, no? You go She ran away, no? Okay, the mother can dance, then the daughter will not come. Mother can dance with the daughter. She ran away today. Yes. She dances very good, no? Like that. Chalo. Chalo. So you will sing. So give them this. Hush.
Yeah? You go dance? Slow down.
Now Reena will sing. Reena and Yamuna will sing Kabir song. Kabir.
Papaji,
And
I would like to sing a song with Brazilian friend.
Brazilian? Acha, okay. After this, Kabir. You go there. You go there. Kavita also go there. बुला लो ना सबको. Which song, Kabir's? Ghungat ke patka. Kabir is singing. First I will tell you which song is this thing. Remove your veil and thou shalt see your own beloved seated in your heart. This is from Kabir. Remove thy veil. You will see your beloved waiting for you. Which is this veil? Arrogance, egoism. And this is the only veil between you and your beloved. And she will sing this.
के पथ खोल रे तुम्हें पिया मिलेंगे घूंघट के पथ खोल रे धन जो अनका गर्भ कीजिए धन जो
गर्भ बन का गर्भ कीजे झूठा पंजरंग चोर रे तोहे पिया मिलेंगे झूठ के पथ खोल रे तोहे पिया You can split with this thing. Let's go.
Suni mandir, suni mandir, diya jalaye. Suni mandir, diya jalaye. आसन से मत डोल रे तोहे पिया मिलेंगे आसन से मत डोल रे तोहे पिया मिलेंगे घूंघट के पथ खोल रे तोहे पिया घट घट में तो
She wants to sing Brazilian song. With whom? With somebody else?
Yes, yes.
I would like to dance in Brazilian dance.
It's from your new freezer.